Hello and welcome back. If this is the first time we are practicing together, my name is Chanel and today I'm going to take you through a really nice energizing flow. You can do this if you've just woken up, if you need an energy pickup, or if your legs and your body's just feeling really sore, tight. This will be perfect just to stretch everything out, get that energy and blood flowing again. So for today's practice, you're going to need 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, grab 2 books or anything that you can bring your hands on top of and press into. We're going to start seated. So take that block underneath the hips and then just come into a comfortable cross-legged position. We're going to inhale, roll those shoulders up, back and down, and then gently closing down the eyes. Just spending these first few moments here, arriving into this space, into your body. Softening through the shoulders, the space between the eyebrows. Unclench the jaw. Feel the sitting bones getting heavy, pressing into the block. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Nice length through the spine. And without changing anything just yet, just start to notice your breath. Notice how the breath is flowing in and out. The temperature of the breath in the nostrils. The rise and fall of the belly in the chest. Starting to lengthen each inhale, each exhale. We're going to open the practice with 1 conscious breath in. Take a breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. And when you feel ready, starting to blink open those eyes. Coming off that block, I'm going to come onto all fours. Stack those shoulders over the wrists. Hips will go over the knees. From here, we're coming into cat-cow. Lift the tailbone, drop the belly, shoulder blades glide down the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, belly draws in towards the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, tucking around. Really feel that spread through your shoulder blades. You can close down the eyes and start to take this into any direction that feels good in your body this morning. Find the breath. Taking one last round. We'll meet back through a neutral spine. We're going to set up for our first downward facing dog here. Just walk the hands 1 palm width distance closer to the top of the mat. Wrap your upper arm bones forward and then spread the fingers as wide as you can. Press into all 10 fingers, all 10 knuckles. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, and then slide the hips all the way up and back. Once you arrive, pedaling out through those heels, slowly stamping one heel down, then the other. Find the breath in and out through the nose. The breath is soft, smooth, subtle. Finding stillness, keep sending those hips up and back. If the hamstrings feel a little tight here, a soft bend into those knees, prioritizing length through the spine. Last breath in, exhale, let it go. Inhale, we rise high up onto the toes, lift the heels, look forward. Start to tiptoe towards the top of your mat. Lifting up onto the fingertips, hands come to the shins. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, folding forward. Grab onto opposite elbows. Head and neck gets heavy. You can start to sway from side to side. Can you bend a little deeper into the knees to bring the crown of the head closer to the feet, the stomach on towards the thighs? Releasing the arms, keeping the head and neck heavy, moving slower than you think you should. Start to roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is the last thing to lift. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Palms come to face forward. Tadasana. Standing at the top of your mat, feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to warm up with our sun salutation A's. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. Gaze up to the fingertips. Separate the palms, fold forward, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins or the floor. Extend the crown of the head forward. Exhale, we fold, plant the palms, we step back, high plank. For our first one here, we're all gonna drop our knees, bend those elbows, lower the chest all the way down. Hug the elbows in, press into the tops of the feet, lift the chest. Cobra. Exhale, lowering down. Pushing through hands and knees. Tuck the toes all the way back to downward facing dog. 2 full rounds of breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Keep pressing through the fingers, lifting the hips. Last breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise high up onto the toes, lift the heels, look forward. Start to tiptoe top of the mat. Once you arrive, halfway lift, hands to the shins or the earth. Reach the head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle up overhead. Palms come together and then down through the heart center. Anjali Mudra. And release. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. Hinging at the hips, we fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting the palms, stepping back, high plank. From here, we drop the knees, untuck the toes, bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra, or if you feel ready, lift the knees, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Shoulder blades are drawing down and back. Rolling over the toes, shift those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Last full breath in. Exhale, let it go. Step the left foot into the middle of your mat and then reach the right leg up towards the sky. 3-legged dog. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Ripple forward, step between the palms. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, we rise. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. We're lengthening the tailbone down here. lifting the front of the pelvis. Fingertips are reaching strongly to the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. On your next exhale, release the arms. We're going to grab our 2 blocks or books, bring them halfway down the mat. Your blocks have 3 settings. You can go on your high, middle, or low, just finding what feels good for you. My hamstrings are pretty tight today, so I'm going to choose that higher option. From here, we straighten the front leg, draw the toes back towards the face. We're going to move between the 2 movements here. Inhale, bend into that front knee, lift the chest. Exhale, shift the hips back, straighten the front leg. 2 more. Inhale, bend, lift the chest. Hips are softening down. Exhale, shift it back. Last one. Inhale, bend, lift the chest, soften the hips. Exhale, hips back. Straighten that front leg. If you need a little more space, just walk that right heel further forward. Keep sending the hips back as you press into the palms, lift that chest, hinge at the hips to fold a little deeper. Flexing through that right foot, take a full breath in. Full breath out. Last breath in. Exhale, let it go. Bend back into that right knee. Hop those blocks just off to the top of the mat. Hands come down, and then we tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out through those heels for a moment. And then finding stillness. Hips are shifting up and back. A little lift through the chest so we don't sink into those shoulders. Heels are softening towards the earth. Stepping the right foot into the middle of the mat. Left leg reaches up towards the sky. Draw that knee in towards the chest, step forward. And then we drop that back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, we rise. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Tailbone is lengthening. Fingertips are reaching. And then can you move your ears up and away from your shoulders? Find the breath here. Last breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Grab your 2 blocks, bring them halfway down the mat, and then straighten through that left leg. Toes draw back towards the face. We move between the 2, bend into that front knee, lift the chest, soften the hips. Exhale, we shift back, straightening that front leg. Inhale, bend, lift. Exhale, shift back. Last one here. Inhale, bend, lift the chest. Exhale, shift back, hold. You can step that left foot a bit further forward if you need a little extra space. Pressing into the palms, lifting the chest. Send those hips back, really hinge from the hips. Nice straight spine. Your nose is reaching for your big toe. My hamstrings are tight, so I am feeling this. Breathing into those spaces, the tightness. Last breath in. Exhale, bend back into that front knee, blocks to the front of the mat. Hands come down, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Find the breath. Last breath in here. Exhale, release. Left foot steps in, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Three-legged dog. Draw the knee in towards the chest. We step to the outside of the right foot this time. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes. If you need a little bit more space here, grab those blocks or books, bring the palms up onto them. Lifting the chest, hips are softening down. Keep hugging the right knee in towards that right tricep. Now you can stay here for a few more rounds of breath. There's an option for a quad stretch. You can bend your back knee and then reach the right arm up, back and around. Maybe you find the foot, maybe you don't, that's okay. If you find the foot, kick into the hand, lift the chest for the opening through the right shoulder, and then breathe in and out. Exhale, release, right arm circles up, back and around. Shift those blocks out from underneath you. We're going to meet back in our downward facing dog. Step that right leg back. Pedaling out through the heels. You can shift the hips from side to side. And then coming towards stillness, full breath in. Exhale, let it go. Step the right foot to the middle of the mat. Left leg reaches up towards the sky. Left knee comes in towards the chest, into the outside of the left hand. Dropping that back knee, untuck the toes. You can stay here. You can come up onto those blocks if you want a little bit more space. There's also an option to come down onto the forearms or forearms on a block if you want to go a little deeper today. Wherever you find yourself, breathe. Noticing the mind wandering. And then, without any judgment, just observe. And bring the awareness back to your breath. Soft, smooth, steady breath in and out through the nose. You can stay here, or there's that option for the quad stretch. You bend that back knee, left arm circles up, back and around. Maybe you grab the foot, kicking into the hand if you find it. Feeling the stretch through that left shoulder. Slow and controlled, release that foot. Left hand circles back and around. Shift those blocks to the top of the mat. And then we slide our left knee back to meet our right. Tuck your toes, send the hips back. Active child's pose. Stretch the fingers forward, gazing to the top of your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, coming up, cat pose, round through the spine, and then come back through that neutral spine. Sit the hips to the heels, and then heels come off to the sides, so we can come down onto our back. Coming back into the center of your mat, laying down. Keeping those heels planted, knees bent. Draw the belly button to spine, ribs to hips. Start to peel the hips, the vertebrae, lower back, mid back off the ground into our bridge. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Then you can bring the arms together, interlace the palms. Stretch the arms away from you. Keep squeezing the glutes to lift the hips up. If the hands interlace is too intense, just release those arms. You can press into the hands to keep lifting those hips. Final full breath in and exhale, lowering all the way back down. Windscreen wipe those legs, left and right. Coming through the center, pick your hips up and then move them to the right side of your mat. Pop them back down. Arms come out wide, or if you don't have space, a little bend into those elbows. From here, you draw the knees in towards the chest. Breath in. And then exhale, the knees go over towards your left. If it feels okay, gaze might come over the right shoulder. Focusing on keeping that right shoulder blade ground down. If you want a little extra, left hand can find your right knee. Start to push the knee down. Last full breath in. Exhale, release the hand. Coming back through the center. Bringing those feet back down. Shift the hips towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, knees come in towards the chest. Exhale, we drop them over towards the right. Gaze comes over that left shoulder. Maybe the right hand finds the left knee if you want a little extra. Last breath in. Releasing the hand, coming back through the center. And we're going to come into our final resting pose. Stretch the legs out long. Palms can come up towards the ceiling. Closing down the eyes. Feel the entire back body start to get heavy, melting into the mat. Softening through the shoulders, the space between the eyebrows. Unclench the jaw. Resting here in Shavasana. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Starting to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Wriggling through the fingers, the toes. And then reaching the arms above the head for a final full body stretch. Bend back into your knees, plant the feet, and then roll over onto your favorite side. Using the support of the hands, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Hands come in towards the heart center, a moment of gratitude, thanking yourself for showing up. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It is such a pleasure to guide you through these practices. Let me know what you'd like to see more of in the comments and hit subscribe to keep moving together. Bye.